What's up, everyone? It's Nateco, sort of, right here. And to my right, over there, is Dustin Barkley. Dustin, what is going on, my friend?
So we had to get a little creative when Brent's not able to make it to the studio. So introducing for the first time, Brent Bott is here with us. It's better than nothing. So we got a pretty good little setup here. So we still got both of us, just not quite the same, but a lot of fun either way. Thank you to our sponsor, mybookie.ag. Get on there, check them out. Check out the over-unders when you're setting up your lineups. Also, they got an online casino. Their site is mobile friendly, so it's easy to get on there on your phone and place your bets. Most trusted sportsbook on the webs. Get on there and check them out.
All right, let's get right into those quarterbacks. Brent Bott wants to talk about Matt Ryan. I know what you're thinking. He really hasn't been great this year, and we thought he was going to have a little bit of a hangover after that historic season last year, but he could get really not hungover this year. Drink some Pedialyte as the kids do this day and age. 55 over-under. So you got to love that. There's going to be a lot of points this game. I think Matt Ryan has a nice week. I think everyone on Atlanta and everyone on New England has a nice week. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
Person I want to talk about, a pretty big waiver wire pickup heading into Week 7, Jared Goff. A lot of people replacing Aaron Rodgers, looking for a high upside guy. Talked about him in the waiver wire show. Nice matchup at home against Arizona. He's been down a little bit the last couple of weeks, but he had tough matchups. You got to think it'll be a little bit easier going up against Arizona. I'm expecting a bounce back, and he's a nice pickup and play, or just a pickup in general if you're trying to replace Rodgers.
Yeah, you gotta love McVay over there. Head coach, the young head coach, little quarterback whisperer. All right, what I want to talk about now is people get in, ask questions. We're actually going to be answering them. We did a good job the last couple weeks. We try to answer as many as we can, if not all of them. So feel free to post it in here. We'll be updating our rankings week as things happen, so you can check back Sunday morning for that as well. But feel free to ask questions and go ahead if you're looking at them and you have an answer for somebody. Don't wait for us to answer it. Feel free to pull the trigger.
Yeah, we want everyone to be answering. Make kind of a community message board out of our messages on the YouTube videos.
Yeah, so Dean's Brent Bott. Let's do it.
All right, Brent Bott, running backs.
Running backs, talking about Zeke. I had to do it. I called this. I drafted him in a bunch of leagues. I knew I didn't call this debacle that it is, but I didn't think he was going to get suspended. It's going to be Tom Brady all over again, and he is going to be playing this week. So if you ran to the waiver to get Morris or McFadden, it's pointless. If you're an Elliott owner and you were sad, be happy. He had 116 rushing yards last week. He's going to do just fine again. Plug him right in. He's an RB1.
At number 19, I want to talk about Tevin Coleman. Brent already talked about it a little bit with this New England-Atlanta game. But if you're one of the people that handcuffed Freeman with Coleman, if there was ever a week where you think about starting both of them, this is the one. I mean, they could both have really solid games. I mean, on paper, this should be a high-scoring game. And when you look at the other options, and this is another thing too, always make your decisions independently of each other. Just because you own both of them doesn't mean that you can only start one of them each week. If you have a really good matchup, it might make the most sense to start both of them rather than trying to dig deep on your bench to start someone else.
Brent Bott should be giving a thumbs up or nodding his head in agreements. I totally agree with what he just said, Dustin. Moving on to my next guy, that's Mixon. I know it's a tougher matchup against the Steelers, but Mixon has gotten about 17 touches the last 3 weeks. He finally found the end zone last week. And I know it sounds kind of a nightmare out there, and it is a divisional game, but where we have him ranked, I think if you own Mixon, I think he's a solid flex play. He's a guy that I've found his way into a few of my lineups, and I'm not too upset about it. I don't think this is going to be a crazy high-scoring game, but if I had Mixon, I feel pretty confident between 17 and 20 touches probably for him, and definitely a chance to fall into the end zone.
I want to talk about the Green Bay mess. I mean, obviously Rodgers going down hurts the entire offense, but it also makes it even harder to figure out what's going to happen with the running backs, because with Aaron Jones and Ty Montgomery, they're saying, they might go more run heavy and they should go more towards Jones since he's more the traditional running back, but what's going to happen to Montgomery? It's an absolute mess right now. We rank these based on standard rankings, so in a standard league, I give the slight edge to Jones, but in a PPR league, any type of 0.5 or 1 point PPR, I think Montgomery's still probably the guy to own, but it's just a mess all around, and just in terms of not knowing what's going to happen. That's why we have both these guys so low at 29 and 30, just because there's just too many question marks, but they're still in the flex discussion, and they should be. So, you know, if you, like I said, standard, we say Jones, PPR, Montgomery. And
hey, I am a happy man. You know why? You know why we can afford a Brent Pod? Because we still got FanDuel. Thank you so much, everybody, for signing up last week. We got another week of FanDuel. If
We're
you
back.
signed up last week and played, please do it again this week. And if you didn't, you were thinking about it, we need you. Please get in. We almost got the boot, but we were able to make it, and that's why I'm coming live to you via the Brent Pod.
we were able to make it. We weren't quite able to win. Bruno took the first place prize. They get the t-shirt. They're going to win the prize money like they do in all the other leagues. But there were 3 Barclays in the top 10, so I do like to point that out. We were close. Couldn't
Hey,
quite.
I had Rodgers.
Brent had Rodgers.
Rodgers, Cook. I've had so many. David Johnson. I've had Odell Beckham. I've had so many season-long injuries on my FanDuel team. It's been ridiculous.
You should have known that Rodgers was going to get hurt, Brent. I mean, clearly.
Yeah, obviously.
Come on.
All right, talking receivers, talking about Hogan. I actually love Hogan, and I know he only had 1 catch last week, but New England, as we said, it's going to be a very high-scoring game, and Hogan is the real deal. I actually prefer him as the #1 target besides Gronk for Tom Brady, and I see him in this game. He always has a crazy upside where he could get, 2 touchdowns and 100 yards isn't out of the realm of possibility. I don't think it's going to happen. I think like 75 and a score is very realistic for him, however. So if you have Hogan, you are 100% starting him. He is a stud receiver, in my opinion, at this point.
Number 17, we got Jarvis Landry going up against the Jets, and he should be a target monster this week. You know, Devontae Parker, it's looking very questionable that he plays this week. We do have him ranked at number 40 just because we wanted to have him in the rankings. But Landry should get a ton of targets. Not a terrible matchup. You know, that's why we got him in the top 20 this week. We think he could have, definitely his floor this week is very high, and he always has a chance to find in the end zone. So we do like Landry this week.
It's time to hang in with my man. He is so Cooper.
There you go.
I'm talking about Amari Cooper for Oakland, and I'm talking about Cooper, former Golden State Warrior, for like a 10-day contract on the TV show. I digress. Cooper, I know he's been god-awful, and I apologize for anyone that drafted him. Thank goodness I don't know him in many leagues, but he did have 5 catches last week. Now, granted, it was only for 28 yards, but the 5 catches does show improvement. It does show he's been getting the targets. He is too talented to have this terrible of a season. Cooper is a wide receiver, is a nice low-end flex or wide receiver 3 option.
And believe it or not, I didn't plan this way, but Cooper Kupp is who I'm talking about. The same deal with what I was talking about with Goff earlier. And this could be a good game for the Rams offense. And Kupp's been down a little bit the last couple of weeks, but he's still been consistently involved in the offense, and the upside is still there. I think if you're desperate for a receiver, if you got some injuries or you got some bye week issues and just looking for a high upside guy, do not mind Cooper Kupp this week.
Hanging with my man, he's so cool. Going over to tight ends, that's Zach Ertz I want to talk about. He only had 2 catches last week, but guess what? If you draft him, good for you. He is a top 3 tight end the rest of the way, arguably a top 2 tight end week in and week out. Ertz is just solid. I think he's going to do very well Monday night against the Washington Redskins. I don't see it being any kind of issue. I don't worry about the 2 catches he had last week. If you have Ertz, not only do you start him this week, he is a must-start for you the rest of the year.
And number 12, a guy that's been moving up the rankings as of late, Zach Miller. Ever since Trubisky took over, he's definitely been looking Miller's way, especially down towards the red zone. He's been finding the end zone a little bit. So not hating Zach Miller this week, and just moving forward, if you're not happy with your tight end, he could be considered a tight end 1 by the end of the season. So he is starting to, him and Trubisky seem to be like they're going to be on the same page. So we do like Miller moving forward.
Whether I'm a robot or not, it's very robotic who I'm talking about defense-wise when I get a chance, and that's my Minnesota Vikings defense. They can get after the quarterback. I love their corners, and they have a nice matchup against the Bears this week. 39.5. It's a low over-under. It's going to be a low total. And I think the Vikings are going to have a lot of success this week.
And we have a couple of firsts probably that I want to talk about. First of all, we have the Saints defense ranked in our top 6. I can't remember.
Made me bump them up.
I can't remember the last time we had that. But also, too, on mybookie.ag, the Saints-Green Bay game, it's at Green Bay, and the Saints are favored by 5.5 points. So I don't remember the last time there was a Green Bay game in Green Bay where they were, almost 6-point underdogs, and the over/under is 47.5 on that. The Saints D has been nuts as of late. I mean, the touchdowns have been fluky, but they've been getting sacks, they've been getting interceptions, they've been getting fumble recoveries. I mean, I could definitely see Green Bay just very much simplifying the offense and not trying to do too much, trying to stay away from mistakes, but it's too hard to ignore what the Saints have done as of late, and I'm kind of buying them a little bit, at least for this week, with kind of an inexperienced quarterback. So, don't hate the Saints.
Well, Brent Bott is happy. Dustin, I'm assuming I have a thumbs up currently?
You do.
Of course I do. You love the thumbs up. Well, thumbs up to all you guys. And again, please get into FanDuel. And thank you if you did. And if you did, double down. If you did get in, you were thinking about it, please get in. That's the reason we do this. It's the reason we're coming to you. Well, I guess not the reason we do this, but either way, Dustin, give me some dabs.
Dabs. Subscribe to our channel. Leave comments. Brent, pen flip. That was one of his closest ones in a while, actually.
Oh, man, I'm smacking you in your face next time I see you. Brent Bott out.